Stop overpaying for European prestige right now. You do not need a massive loan to own a legendary touring bike. We've uncovered the top 13 best value machines from Europe that are secretly affordable. The #1 bike is a game changer you can actually afford. Number 13, the Aprilia Pegaso 650, a European budget traveler that feels like it was built for riders who know how to stretch a dollar in a mile. This is one of those second-hand surprises you stumble across, fire up, and instantly wonder how it stayed under the radar for so long. It is light on the scale, easy on the wallet, and far more capable on long stretches than anyone expects from an old single-cylinder trail bike. That thumping four-stroke pulls with a steady low rumble, then snaps awake once you roll past that mid-range sweet spot, giving enough punch to climb mountain grades or slip through winding back roads without breaking a sweat. The suspension brings a soft, forgiving feel that keeps your spine happy, and the upright posture lets you settle in for long days without the body fatigue cheaper bikes usually hand out. What really makes the Pegaso shine is its used market value. Clean examples around $2 to $3 grand, yet you still get Italian character, manageable maintenance, and a fuel-sipping engine that turns long trips into effortless loops instead of constant gas stops. But if you find yourself craving something a little more substantial, that very lightness can start to feel a bit bare bones, especially when the road unwinds for hours. Maybe you want a machine with more warmth, more presence, more mechanical soul humming beneath you. And when it comes to soul, there's a corner of Italy that's been distilling it for decades, crafting V-twins that can turn even a quiet, uneventful ride into a moment worth remembering. Number 12, Moto Guzzi Breva 750 and Breva 850. Italy built this pair for riders who live on the open road and value machines that refuse to quit. The Breva twins carry that unmistakable transverse V-twin heartbeat, cooled by open air and driven through a shaft that shrugs off weather, grit, and miles. Settle into the low, confidence-building seat, and the bike eases you upright, ready for long days without beating you up or demanding constant attention. The 744 cubic centimeter version delivers a steady wave of mid-range power that feels honest and dependable. It settles into highway speeds with a calm, planted attitude. Ideal for riders who prefer relaxed momentum over frantic revving. Step up to the 877 cubic centimeter model, and the character deepens. More grunt, smoother fueling, and stronger drive when carrying gear, a passenger, or climbing into higher country. Both share that slow-breathing Guzzi rhythm that becomes a soothing pulse once the miles start stacking. What truly seals the deal is the used market. When new, these bikes ran roughly $7,000 to $9,000 in the US. Today, a Breva 750 often sells for $2,500 to $3,500, while the 850 usually lands between $3 and $4 grand. They're rare here, but remain one of the cheapest ways to get into a dependable Italian V-twin with shaft drive. Still, simplicity sometimes leaves you wanting more pull when the highway opens. Maybe you crave the same charm, just with deeper lungs and broader shoulders. Fortunately, the Italians did not stop at modest. There's a bigger brother waiting, one that turns that gentle pulse into something far more commanding. Number 11, Moto Guzzi Breva 1100, Italy's answer to the mile-eating Grand Tour, the Moto Guzzi Breva 1100 is built for riders who value substance over showroom glitter. From Mandello del Lario, it carries a broad-shouldered transverse V-twin that wakes with a slow, confident rumble. A low 31.5-inch seat and naturally rising handlebars set you into an easy, upright posture, ideal for devouring American interstates or sweeping desert bends. Its 1,064 cubic centimeter twin delivers a deep well of torque from down low and keeps pulling with steady authority as the revs climb. This is not frantic power. It is mature strength that handles luggage, hills, and long grades without strain. The shaft drive eliminates chain hassle, the suspension stays composed with a passenger aboard, and the generous tank holds just over 6 gallons, good for roughly 210 miles of real-world range. Riders who live on these machines praise their durability, often piling on 50,000 miles or more with minimal upkeep. When new, the Breva 1100 sold for about $14,900 in the US. Today, most used examples run between $3,500 and $5,000, depending on mileage and condition. That dramatic price drop makes it one of the best budget sport tourers available, Italian character without Italian pricing. And if discovering Europe's budget long-distance gems has reignited a dream you almost let go of, smash that like button, fire off a hype in the comments, and subscribe. Your support pushes the channel forward and fuels our mission to make your riding dreams easier to achieve. The Breva's touring style is more relaxed than responsive, and some riders want a bike with more flexibility. Something that handles long distance but also feels alive on twisty roads. For that, we head north across Europe to a machine built by a brand that made the triple-cylinder engine its signature advantage. Number 10, Triumph Tiger 955Y. Rolling in from the United Kingdom, this tall, confident bruiser earned its reputation the hard way, mile after mile, proving a used British triple can hang with machines costing far more. The Tiger 955i came from Triumph's early 2000s resurgence, and you can feel that pride in every thrum of its smooth, liquid-cooled three-cylinder. It delivers strong, steady power across the Revi range, the kind of effortless pull that settles you into a rhythm on long American stretches where the horizon barely moves. The roomy, adjustable seat and relaxed riding triangle stay comfortable even after a full day in the saddle, and the fairing deflects wind with reassuring calm. Riders praise the triple's throttle response. Never abrupt, never lazy, always willing. Generous suspension travel absorbs broken back roads and gravel detours, while the brakes provide firm, predictable control when the pace quickens. A tank holding just over 6 gallons keeps you going for roughly 240 miles before fuel becomes a concern. New, the Tiger 955i sold for about $10,500 to $11,000. Today, most used examples land between $2,000 and $3,500, and even very clean ones rarely break $4,000. That pricing makes it one of the best cheap adventure bikes in America if you do not mind something tall and slightly old school. But not everyone wants an adventure posture. Some riders prefer something lower, sleeker, and more aerodynamic for serious highway miles. And before we leave the UK, there is another bargain from Britain that takes the same engine philosophy and reshapes it into a sharper, more road-focused long-distance tool. Number 9, Triumph Sprint ST 1050. Born on British soil, this sharp-edged sport tourer brings the kind of maturity seasoned riders appreciate. Real speed when you want it, real comfort when you need it, and second-hand pricing that feels almost suspicious. The Sprint ST 1050 carries that signature liquid, cooled triple, silky, muscular, and always eager. Roll on the throttle in any gear, and it responds with a smooth surge that fits long American interstates as naturally as mountain sweepers out west. The riding position strikes a sweet balance between athletic and relaxed, letting you lean into the wind without folding your back or wrists. The suspension offers generous travel for patchy pavement, yet stays composed when the pace picks up. Those big twin front discs deliver crisp stopping power, and the fairing shelters you with a confidence that only grows as the miles pile on. A tank holding a bit over 5.5 gallons keeps you moving for roughly 200 miles before thinking about fuel. And back when it was new, this British sport tourer sold for around $11,500 to $12,000. Today, most used Sprint STs in the States land in the $3,000 to $4,500 range, with showroom clean ones creeping up towards $6,000. But its sporty geometry has limits when the road gets rough or unpredictable, and not every long-distance rider wants to be tied to smooth pavement. If you need more suspension travel, more versatility, and that go-anywhere confidence, while still staying in the bargain zone, Italy offers a rugged V-twin alternative that is surprisingly affordable. Number 8, Aprilia Caponord ETV 1000. An Italian adventure tourer shaped by decades of long-distance know-how. This confident traveler serves riders who measure their journeys in long stretches of open road, rather than quick dashes between fuel stops. Built in the early 2000s, it carries a liquid-cooled V-twin that delivers roughly 98 horses with a blend of pull and smooth response. That combination gives the machine a rhythm on highway runs, mountain switchbacks, and light gravel wanderings. A chain-driven 6-speed gearbox works with a slipper clutch to settle down abrupt downshifts and keep the engine's character usable from low revs. The upright perch and adjustable saddle calm the miles, while generous suspension travel shrugs off broken pavement. An aluminum frame keeps the bike composed when the pace rises, and Brembo binders deliver reassuring control. A spacious 25-liter tank provides the reach needed for real travel, helping riders stretch toward distant horizons without anxious glances at the gauge. Wind management and luggage-friendly ergonomics transform cross-country days into steady progress. When new, the Caponord arrived at a price that undercut many rivals, and on today's used market, it remains a bargain, often selling for a fraction of what comparable machines command. For riders who want Italian charm without fragile pretension, it stands tall as a trustworthy companion. Now it is over to you. Which of these bikes have you owned? Which one are you eyeing next? Or which did you recently let go? We want to hear your story. Share your experience with any of these machines and tell us which bike you think will appear in the next spots. And if you thought Italian V-twin charm could not get bolder, wait until you see who takes the next spot in this countdown. Just over the Alps, a certain Austrian machine has earned that reputation by carrying riders across the kinds of terrain most bikes never dare touch. Number 7. KTM 990 Adventure. Born in the Austrian mountains, this machine carries a liquid-cooled V-twin that sends a touch over 106 horses and nearly 74 pound-feet of twist to the ground. That strength gives it a confident surge on steep grades, broad sweepers, and loose gravel where lesser bikes hesitate. Its overall mass lands just above 500 pounds, and the tank holds a bit more than 5 1/3 gallons, creating a balance of poise and stability that few adventure machines can match. Long travel suspension teams with tall spoked wheels, 21 inches up front and 18 at the rear, to iron out ruts, washboard, and rough passes. An upright posture sets the tone for mile-heavy days, keeping the rider settled even when the terrain refuses to cooperate. Durability defines this motorcycle's character. Owners who stay ahead of the usual KTM quirks, water pump seals, throttle sensors, routine checks, report mile counts that climb into the tens of thousands with almost no drama. Fuel returns in the mid-40s to near 50 miles per gallon give it real reach, while its highway manners remain steady even with luggage piled high. When new, it carried a price in the midi $14,000 to $15,000 range, depending on trim. Today, most pre-owned examples fall between $6,000 and $8,000, with pristine machines stretching toward $10,000. Against modern adventure rigs charging double, its value stands firm. But all that performance comes with a price. The 990 demands skill, height, and commitment. Not every rider wants a wild, high-strung machine for long distances. Some want something calmer, more efficient, and easier to control over endless miles. And just across the border, the Germans designed a middleweight Explorer that delivers that balance with typical precision. Number 6. BMW F800 GS. Germany's engineering pride steps into the spotlight with a machine built for riders who measure journeys in full days, not short stints. The BMW F800 GS pairs an energetic parallel twin with adventure geometry that feels planted on pavement, yet confident on loose ground. Its water-cooled engine serves up mid-range strength that pushes you through long climbs or loaded passes without strain, and the 6-speed gearbox stays smooth whether you are rolling through mountain towns or cruising along open interstate. Long travel suspension and 21 and 17-inch wheels flatten rough terrain, while the upright stance and slim chassis keep fatigue at bay through mile-stacking days. Expect fuel economy that often lives in the high 50s to low 70s miles per gallon, giving that 4 and a bit gallon tank serious reach. Owners praise its rugged dependability. This is a bike comfortable in remote places, field fixable when needed, and famously light on surprise failures. The real magic shows up on the second-hand market. When it debuted, it cost $11,500 to $12,500 in the US. And today, most used F800 GS models go for $5,000 to $7,000, with low-mile examples nearing $9,000. And it remains one of BMW's most reliable and efficient adventure bikes. But its modest twin-cylinder power and smaller frame can leave some riders wanting a machine with more presence. Something bigger, more comfortable on highways, and capable of swallowing massive distances between fuel stops. For that, we travel back down to Italy, where a certain big-bore V-twin offers a grand touring attitude without a grand touring price. Number 5. Moto Guzzi Stelvio. Italy shaped this big-hearted adventurer for riders who want distance, comfort, and character without draining their wallet. The Stelvio carries a 1,150 cubic centimeter air and oil-cooled V-twin that delivers a deep, confident surge of roughly 88 horsepower and about 89 pound-feet of torque. It is the kind of broad, low-end strength that makes heavy loads, long climbs, and long miles feel almost effortless. Curb weight lands a bit above 500 pounds, yet the upright stance, generous legroom, and plush travel, about 7½ inches, keep long days relaxed. A tank holding just under 6 gallons gives you real range, and the shaft drive removes the usual chain chores. On the road, owners praise its durability. When new, it carried a price in the mid-$14,000 to mid-$16,000 bracket, and on the used market, it usually sits between $5,000 and $7,000, with clean NTX versions rising toward $8,000 or $9,000. But its weight, its quirks, and its relaxed personality mean it is not the first choice for riders who want modern tech and sharper highway performance. And for that combination of muscle and refinement, we head back to the UK, where a certain triple-powered heavyweight delivers long-distance thunder at surprisingly affordable second-hand prices. Number 4, Triumph Tiger 1200 Explorer. Built in Britain with that unmistakable Triumph swagger, the Tiger 1200 Explorer earns its spot by delivering heavyweight touring strength at second-hand prices that undercut the elite adventure class. Its liquid-cooled 3-cylinder engine, just over 1,160 cubic centimeters, packs a tidal wave of smooth torque that turns long highway days into easy work. Roll into the power and it surges forward with calm confidence, never frantic, always composed, making loaded miles feel lighter than they should. Comfort is where this machine really wins riders over. The broad saddle, relaxed reach, and electronically managed suspension soak up rough roads, while cruise control and a quick shifter trim away fatigue during back-to-back 400-mile stretches. Add generous wind protection and a stress-free shaft drive, and you get a touring partner built to last. When new, it carried a premium that hovered between $17,000 and $19,000, often climbing higher once luggage or off-road equipment entered the picture. And on today's second-hand market, most examples settle between $7,000 and $10,000, with fresher or high-spec versions creeping toward $12,000. But even with its strengths, some riders want a motorcycle with an undeniable legacy, in a machine synonymous with long-distance travel, proven across continents for nearly 2 decades. And when it comes to that kind of reputation, there's only this next European manufacturer whose big adventure bike practically defines the category. Number 3, BMW R 1100 RT. Germany shaped this long-haul icon for riders who measure journeys in full days, not fuel stops. The R 1100 RT carries that classic boxer heartbeat, a 1,085 cubic centimeter flat twin that gives you broad, steady pull from low revs and a relaxed rhythm at highway pace. Pair that with its wind tunnel-shaped fairing, wide saddle, and easy-going upright reach, and you get a machine that soaks up full-day rides the way touring bikes were meant to: calm, planted, and endlessly predictable. Its generous tank and frugal nature stretch miles between fill-ups, and the telelever front end keeps braking smooth and controlled, especially when the bike is fully loaded for a week on the road. Back when the second generation was new, it sold for right around $600 to $6,700 in the US. Even today, the brand-new fuel-injected models stay under $7,300. On the used market, older KLRS run between $2,500 and $4,000, with cleaner late model or EFI versions going from about $4,500 up to $7,000. Dollar for mile, nothing beats a KLR. But for riders who want just a little more torque, more refinement, and a machine that feels noticeably tougher for real long-distance work, the 1100 series can start to show its age. And that's exactly when another German icon steps onto the stage. A bike that took the same formula and evolved it into something even more capable for cross-continent travel. Number 2, BMW R 1150 GS. A German long-range partner built for riders who feel at ease when the horizon never stops sliding forward, and its air and oil-cooled boxer, just above 1,130 cubic centimeters, delivers a broad, confident sweep of torque that settles the bike into a calm, unhurried rhythm. A smooth 6-speed gearbox keeps the stride steady through mountain bends, gravel links, and long interstate runs. The tall perch, wide reach, and telelever front end hold the chassis poised, while generous wind shelter and relaxed ergonomics invite mile after mile with quiet certainty. Back when it was fresh, the R 1150 GS carried a premium, landing in the mid-teens depending on trim. And today, well-kept examples often sit in the middle single-digit thousands. while exceptionally clean versions climb into the higher end of that bracket. But some tourers want a different kind of endurance. Not just ruggedness, but effortless speed, turbine-smooth power, and mile-eating comfort worthy of true high-speed European travel. And for that final step, the top of this list, we stay in Germany, where one manufacturer created a long-distance machine so fast, so stable, and so surprisingly affordable today that it stands as the ultimate European bargain tourer. Number 1. BMW K1300 GT. Germany closes this countdown with authority, and the K1300 GT sits at the summit for one reason: nothing in the second-hand world delivers this much refined power for so little money. Its liquid-cooled inline 4, just over 1,290 cubic centimeters, unleashes a tidal surge of smooth power. Settle into the saddle, roll on the throttle, and the bike glides into high-speed touring with a calm, unshakable stride made for continent-spanning days. The chassis stays composed through sweepers. The broad fairing cuts wind, and electronically managed suspension keeps the ride plush even with panniers packed for a week. Heated grips and a height-adjustable screen complete a cockpit built for seasoned riders who know what matters. When new, a gold wing costs $16,000 to $27,000 in the US, depending on year and options. In today, used examples range from $6,000 to $9,000 for older models, $10,000 to $15,000 for mid-2010s bikes, and $17,000 to $25,000 for newer versions. And it remains the gold standard for long-distance comfort. And if this list of the best cheap long-distance bikes from Europe has sparked your curiosity, remember, this is only one side of the motorcycling world. There's a whole other unexplored chapter waiting for you. So don't stop here. Click the next video on your screen, like this one if you enjoyed it, drop a hype, and subscribe. Let's dive even deeper into the world of motorcycles.